How's it going, everybody? It's been a while since I've made one of these tips videos, and while I'm always writing down things that might fit in these, turns out that we have quite a few that actually fit a specific faction. And now that the Shaolin testing ground is around the corner, we might as well make this video Tips Wulin Edition. My problem now is how do I successfully transition this into the spring equinox. I'm sure they do have spring in the east, that much I know for sure. But bridging that cultural gap here is not an easy task, so let's just go for it. Today's video has a sponsor well known to most of you. A big thanks to Viking Jewelry for once again reaching out and offering some great deals. They are celebrating Ostara, and that comes with a few benefits for you guys. For every single order that you place until March 31st, Viking Jewelry gives you a free Waywiser pendant. Let me repeat that, you do get a free pendant. But that's not all, I also have a discount code. For the next 48 hours, you can use the code FRC15 at the checkout and get 15% on every item in the whole store. As usual, that is on top of the already ongoing sales. A link with all the information is down below in the video description. So, discount code and the free item for every order that you place. Easter is also around the corner, so if you need a little gift, now's your chance to get one and pocket a free pendant for yourself. Check them out. Alright, before we get to the tips, we need to get something out of the way. The last time we had this abomination of a lawbringer in a video, we got some comments. So here's the official verdict during the recordings.
God, you're so fucking ugly.
Okay, now we can do the tips. Let's do Shaolin first, since he's the one most people will inquire about in the next few weeks. Most of you know that the stealth feat allows you to pretty much ignore ranged projectiles as long as you are moving. They will just miss. And I know that Shaolin's tier 2 is technically not a ranged feat, but you'd think it would work similarly, especially since the kick is prone to whiffing anyways. But no, this feat does indeed ignore stealth, or rather is not affected by it in the first place. Absolutely makes sense, since the Shaolin is using his own body as a projectile, so to speak. But yeah, people tend to feel safe when stealth is active. Go kick them in the mouth for it. Moving on, JJ and Nusha at once. Certain moves have the ability to wall splat or throw somebody. You've seen this with Parrot and Walk the Plank move just recently. Oftentimes this is useless, especially for Nusha and JJ, since they don't get any extra damage after performing the move. Either the choke or the third heavy. Now with a teammate nearby, this can change quite quickly. Your teammate can act as a wall and thus allows you to get extra damage in. In Nusha's and JJ's case, that is an extra heavy. The trick to doing this is by being unlocked. If you want to act as the wall, be out of lock. This makes it far more consistent. This is something that can be adopted quite easily for Jeongjun, but much harder for Nusha, since the third heavy needs to probably be guaranteed somehow. It's also a good way to stall out revenge, something the choke is already used for. Alright, moving on to Jeonhu. Admittedly, this is very niche, both in selection of feats, as well as limited to only a handful of opponents. You need Nukikubi and Fiery Tusk unlocked. Since there are only 2 heroes with access to projectiles and Nukikubi, this interaction is quite rare. But with the latest Nukikubi buff, you can now activate your stamina regen with it. So if you are in the unfortunate situation where you cannot react to 500 MS bashes, like 99.999% of the player base, and you are out of stamina on top of that, then this might help. Stamina pause sadly is still a thing on a couple of heroes, and for whatever reason not yet blanket removed. But yes, other feats can activate Nukikubi, and thus the stamina regen. We can now debate whether the feat pick is worth it, or just make the right read with Tireless as the tier 1 selection. If you are already running this feat combination, then now you know how to utilize it in this niche scenario. Shinobi is the other hero that can do this. And then Tiandi. It might be a little ironic, but dodge attack spam is a common complaint, and in Tiandi's case, he can punish people rather easily when they dodge attack the palm strike. He can continue the chain, so dodging Anchi-B is not the greatest idea, but if the opponent opts for a dodge attack, Tiandi can chain into a hyper armored heavy, which tends to trade in his favor. And that's it. I know these aren't the most advanced tips, but sometimes it's important to remember the basics. Things like, hey, your character does have hyper armor. Especially if it's not an integral part of a hero's kit. It can be easily forgotten sometimes. Knowing the intricacies of the whole moveset and feat loadout can help, even if it's just in rare occasions. I'll leave you with that. Don't forget to check out our sponsor Viking Jewelry. I hope the video was helpful. Thanks for watching. Laters everybody.